I'll now recognize the gentleman from New York, Mr. Torres, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I never thought this moment would come. According to an opinion piece by Ritchie Sharma in the Financial Times, if the United States economy were to grow at an average of 1.5% annually, and China's economy at an average of 2.5% annually, China would not overtake the United States until 2060. But even the assumption of a 2.5% growth rate seems increasingly questionable. As you know, China is confronting a perfect storm, a debt crisis, a demographic crisis, and a declining productivity crisis. And so I have a historical question for each of the panelists. Has there ever been a country in history that has grown at 2.5% annually in the face of productivity decline, population decline, and a prohibitive debt burden? And I'll start with Mr. Asu, and we'll go down the row.
Yeah.
Easy question.
I'm not aware of one.
Okay.
Nor am I, sir.
Not to my knowledge.
Seems unlikely.
Not aware.
So America's greatest enemy is not the CCP. America's greatest enemy is itself. It's the dysfunction of our politics. You know, there may be severe structural limits on China's ability to grow the Chinese economy, but there are no limits to America's ability to sabotage the American economy. Who needs the CCP when you have the self-sabotage of debt limit brinksmanship here in Washington, D.C.? The full faith and credit of the United States and the status of the dollar as the world's reserve currency form the foundation for American leadership in the world, the very American leadership that the Chinese Communist Party is intent on overturning. And so I have a simple yes or no question. If the federal government were to breach the debt limit beyond the X date, would damaging the full faith and credit of the United States undermine the competitive position of the United States relative to the CCP? And we'll start with Mr. Ashu.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's likely.
Agree.
Yes.
As you know, more than 6 years ago, we saw Russia weaponize social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter to interfere with the 2016 election and otherwise conduct influence operations against the United States. The CCP has infinitely more influence over TikTok than Russia ever did over Facebook and Instagram. TikTok is or could easily metastasize into a Trojan horse for a CCP influence operation against the United States. A question to each of you, do you think TikTok should be banned from the United States?
I really can't answer it. We did look at this when I was in government, and there's clearly issues there, but the what to do about it. An outright ban may not be the answer, but clearly...
Are you aware that the parent company of TikTok has a CCP committee?
Most Chinese companies have some sort of Chinese government influence.
And is that cause for alarm?
Of course it is, absolutely.
Right,
And
as you know...
Let me be clear. Well, I can't give you a yes, no, because I want the solution to fit the problem, and I don't have enough information.
Well, let me phrase the question differently. You know, TikTok is not only a social media platform, it has become a leading news source for the next generation of Americans, our most impressionable minds. Is it in the strategic interest of the United States to have the CCP shape the information environment of the United States?
So again, sir, this is an important issue. We did look at it when I was in government. Finding the right answer in a way that didn't run afoul of concerns such as First Amendment and other things that came up. It doesn't, just because it didn't work the first time doesn't mean we don't need an answer here. We do. I just don't know what it is, and I'm out of government, so unfortunately not.
Mr. Fetto, should we ban TikTok?
So I
And I have nothing against dancing, for the record.
I worry about the idea of banning because it can become a slippery slope. Also, attempting to ban TikTok failed during the Trump administration with his, the president's executive order in August of 2020. I think you're right, the concerns about its parent company. The Commerce Department at the time had supporting information related to its attempt to enforce the ban, that there were 130 CCP committee members within the parent company that had been...
What was the number?
130
CCP members in the parent company.
And you know, National Security Advisor O'Brien, President Trump's National Security Advisor, has called it the biggest the worst own goal in national security and a scandal.
I think time is, I just want to quickly get yes or no answers. Mr. Lorber, Mr. Willems, Mr. Harrell.
I don't think it lends itself to just a simple yes or no. I
Okay.
think there are all sorts of factors.
I think we should put in place a broader infrastructure to examine all Chinese apps operating in the United States and make sure that we're protecting against national security threats, because I don't think it's just TikTok.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree with Clayton.
Great. Thank you. My time has expired.